You ever had someone try to help you so much that they nearly ruined your life? Well, that's exactly what happened to me. I'm 19 years old, a nursing student, and I have a slight problem. I'm permanently blind in one eye. It's not something I talk about a lot because, well, it's just how I've always been. But because of it, I have a habit of running into things. Walls, doors, tables, you name it. I look like I just got into a wrestling match with a piece of furniture on any given day. One day in class, we were discussing signs of abuse. Our professor was explaining that while bruises can be a major red flag, it's important to talk to an adult patient first before jumping to conclusions and calling the authorities. I raised my hand and gave my own example. I rolled up my sleeve and showed my bruises, explaining that they came from bumping into things all the time. My classmates laughed, my professor nodded in agreement, and we moved on. Or at least I thought we did. A week later, the police showed up at my door. It was early in the morning when I heard the knock. When I opened the door, 2 officers stood there, serious expressions on their faces. "Are you okay?" one of them asked. Yeah?" I said, confused. They explained that they had received a report that I was being physically abused and covered in bruises. My stomach dropped. I knew exactly where this was coming from. I quickly explained my disability, how I often bump into things, and how I even mentioned it in class. The officers, doing their job, still needed to check. They looked around my house, spoke to my family, and found no signs of abuse. After a while, they seemed satisfied and left. I wasn't mad. People make mistakes. Maybe the person who called was genuinely worried about me. I figured that was the end of it, but it wasn't. A few days later, one of my classmates approached me. "Hey, did you hear? Kay is still telling people you're being abused." I sighed. "I already talked to the police. They know I'm fine." "Yeah, but she's saying she might call them again." I felt a sharp irritation rise in my chest. Once is concern. Twice is harassment. And sure enough, the police knocked on my door again. Same process, same explanations, same conclusion. I wasn't being abused. This time, though, I reported Kay's behavior to the university. I was done being nice. The university agreed that her actions were excessive and moved her to another lab so she wouldn't be in mine. I figured that would be enough to make her stop. But Kay wasn't done. Rumors started swirling around campus. Kay was telling anyone who would listen that I was a victim in denial and that she knew I was being abused. Then the police came a third time, and this time they said something different. "We've received multiple reports," one officer said. "Not just one. Multiple." My stomach twisted. Either Kay had convinced other people to call, or she had roped in her own family. I had had enough. I told the officers that I believed someone was using them to harass me. They took this very seriously. They informed me that from now on, anyone who called about me would have their name recorded. If they continued calling after being told to stop, they would be charged with harassment and misuse of police resources. Week later, someone called again. The caller tried to use a fake name, thinking they could get away with it. They didn't realize that the police were tracking phone numbers, and just like that, Kay got herself into serious legal trouble. The university expelled her. She was facing actual charges now. I thought that was the end of it. I really did. But then Kay's family got involved. One of my classmates, Lily, was the only person in school who had ever been to my house. Kay didn't know where I lived, but she knew Lily did. So Kay's mom started harassing Lily. She begged, threatened, and even tried to bribe Lily into giving her my address. Lily, to her credit, held strong. She deleted all texts between us, making sure there was no way for Kay's family to get my location. Then Kay's mom took things a step further. She drove around my town trying to find me. Luckily, Lily warned me, in time. I stayed locked inside my house, refusing to leave. The university took the situation seriously. Security was told to escort me to and from my car whenever I was on campus. Cameras were installed near my parking spot. My placement clinic was informed and given pictures of Kay's family, banning them from the premises. The police also gave Kay's family a final warning. Any attempt to contact me would be considered harassment. That was the last I heard of them. Some people don't know when to stop. Some people convince themselves they're the hero in a story that was never theirs to begin with. Kay thought she was helping me, but all she did was put me through months of stress, fear, and frustration. She refused to listen, refused to admit she was wrong, and in the end, she destroyed her own future. If there's one thing to take away from this, it's this. Just because you think you're doing the right thing doesn't mean you actually are. If Kay had simply followed what we learned in class, talked to the adult first, none of this would have happened. Instead, she assumed she knew better. And now, she's no longer a nursing student. She's facing legal charges, and her family is banned from coming near me. I, on the other hand, am still here. Still bruised, still clumsy, but still standing, and if you ever find yourself in a situation like this, take my advice. Stand up for yourself. Don't let people turn their assumptions into your reality. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more shocking real-life stories happening around you.